Hey guys, this is Sharon, and happy Juneteenth weekend, happy Father's Day weekend. I've got some cocktails for you that are going to be the bomb. There's something for everybody with these, and they are featuring Uncle Nearest whiskey. If you haven't heard of this before, this is a whiskey that celebrates Uncle Nearest, whose real name is Nathan Green, and he was the first master distiller for Jack Daniels. I believe he was a former slave, but he is credited with the method of how many of the bourbons are made today. He created this process, bringing some traditions from West Africa, if I'm not mistaken, it's West Africa, to his distilling method. So, Uncle Nearest is a heritage and icon in the bourbon industry, and this brand is actually black owned and female owned, so this is perfect for Juneteenth weekend. So with that, let's get to it. So the first one that I'm making is called the Juneteenth. Like I said, I didn't create this recipe. Mixed Masters created it. Follow them on their channel. And this is going to be a kind of a sweeter type of cocktail. Not super sweet, but it's going to be delicious. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our glass, our mixing glass here. And the first thing we need is a couple of blackberries. So one thing to know about these cocktails that I'm making today is that their theme is Juneteenth, and for that, we had to stick with the color theme, which is red, black, and green. And so for the black, we've got the berries. And while I throw these in the cup, I'm going to explain why the color significance is important. So, black represents black people for Juneteenth. If you've ever seen an African American flag or the red, black, and green flag, the colors are significant. And this little mixer spoon is pretty cool because it's got a muddler on the other end, so let me muddle these blackberries real quick. So black represents the skin of the people, red represents the blood of the people, and green represents the land that was stolen from the people. So that's why you see red, black, and green on a lot of the African American stuff, or in social media posts, or t-shirts, or what have you. So we got the black with the blackberries. The next thing I'm going to do is get a little mint, and this is going to be a garnish, but I'm going to throw a little bit in here for flavor as well. Okay, so with mint, it smells great, but if you want to really get that, you want to just slap it a little bit. That releases some of the oils, and muddle that in there too. Now this is a little bit different than what the Mix Masters did, but I just wanted a little extra. So it's not going to be exactly the same as the recipe, but just wanted to shout them out because I got this idea from them. Then we're going to get a blood orange mixer. This one is by Master of Mixes, which I find funny since I got this recipe from the Mix Masters. And we're going to put a little bit of this in here, probably about a shot's worth. I rarely measure, but I would say an ounce of this, maybe an ounce and a half, would be sufficient for this cocktail. Next, I'm going to put agave syrup in there. Now I'm using agave syrup. The Mix Masters actually use cola syrup from the cola nut, which is another African product. I did not order it in time, so I'm using agave. But there are black people in Mexico too. If you didn't know that, research that, Google it. So I feel perfectly fine using this dark agave syrup. And you only need maybe half a shot of that. Okay. Then I'm going to mix that up together a little bit. And then, of course, we need the Uncle Nearest. Now, I got a bottle that's open already. As you see, I've been happily drinking mine. But I'm going to use what's already open. And we're going to do about a shot of that as well. One of these days, I'm going to actually get some for real bar tools so I can actually look fancy. But, you know, as long as you get in the glass, it works. All right, so give that a little mix. If you want, you can put ice in here and chill it down before you actually put it in your glass. I'm just going to mix it like this because I don't want it watered down at all. All right. Now you put this over a glass and let everything come in there. All right. Give that a little stir. That looks delicious. And then you want to garnish it with a leaf. And I poured a little bit short, but I'm going to do what I do if I was drinking at home. Just put a little bit more in there. It'll be fine. All right. Now, we're going to give that a little bit more of a mix. All right. Now, I'm going to put a little bit more garnish on here to make it look pretty. All right. And then a few more blackberries to float on top. And there you have it. That is the Juneteenth. Looks super pretty and delicious and refreshing. Let's give it a taste. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. That is so tasty. You get a sweetness, but it's not super sweet. Uncle Nearest is 100 proof, so you get an ample amount of flavor from it. You get some of the smoke from the bourbon in it. The agave syrup provides a little additional sweetness without it just taking over. The blackberries have a little bit of tartness. The mint gives a little bit of a little spice. That's just yummy. I can drink that all day. So yeah, there is your Juneteenth cocktail. And that's your first Juneteenth cocktail for the weekend. Okay guys, here is cocktail 2. Now this one I actually did make up, kinda. It's a play on a Bloody Mary, of course. But I bet you didn't know that you could do other cocktails, or other liquors in Bloody Marys. So if you've heard of Bloody Mary, that takes vodka. Bloody Marias take tequila. Well, this one is going to be a bourbon style Bloody Mary, featuring Uncle Nearest, of course. So I have decided to make this one called the Bloody Marian. And Marian is for Marian Anderson, who was an opera singer and was also an activist who fought for equal rights for black musical artists, black artists in general. And she had a haunting voice. She had a thick, rich voice. Her voice was full of life. And things of that sort. It's just a beautiful thing to hear. So, blood is thick, rich, full of life. So, Bloody Marian, I figured that was fitting. So, this is going to be the Bloody Marian. First time ever, created by me. So, if you do it, give me credit. This is mine. All right, so first thing first, we are going to use Bloody Revolution Bloody Mary mix. And this is their ribeye flavor. This is a Austin company. They make amazing Bloody Mary mixes. But we're using the ribeye because, you know, Juneteenth is cookout day. You know, we like to get together, so we want that, you know, cookout feel with our Bloody Mary. So we're going to put in about 2 ounces of this into our mixer. That's probably more than that. Yeah, we need more than that. One of these tables, one of these days, I'm going to have a table that's tall enough for me to do my videos as well. But we're just going to stay seated and work on it with what we got until we get to that point. So, we got that. Second thing, I like my Bloody Marys to not have so much horseradish in it or too much spice. So I like to tone my mixers down with a little bit of V8. So here's our V8. I'm going to put in maybe about a half an ounce of that, just to mellow it out a little bit. I like the taste of the tomato. So that's what we're going with that. And then here's their spin. A lot of Bloody Marys call for Worcestershire sauce, things of that sort. I'm using liquid smoke because, again, it's cookout themed Bloody Mary. And, you know, black folks, we like that smoke. We all about that smoke. So since Marian Anderson fought for equality, she actually went up against the Daughters of the Revolution when they wouldn't allow her to perform. So she definitely wanted all the smoke. So we are going to put in 7 drops of liquid smoke, 7 small drops. And I say 7 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is the number of the Nguzo Saba, which is the 7 principles of Kwaanza. And you all can Google that on your own. I'll write Nguzo Saba in the description below so that you'll know how to spell it when you Google it. But you can also Google Kwaanza principles, and you'll come up with all the ideals of the 7 principles. Unity, umoja, all that kind of stuff. So, we got our liquid smoke in here. We're going to give this a little stir. It smells like a grill. So it smells so good. Alright, give that a stir. Again, I'm not putting it on ice because I don't want to water it down. But if you want to do that, you can shake it in a cocktail over ice if you want. Alright. I feel like I need more because I got a big glass this time. So, just double up everything to fit your glass. One of these days I will get to the point where I actually want to measure stuff, but I'm a mix it till you like it type of person. We're still keeping those 7 drops in there. All right, that smells good. Nice and mellow. All right, now you got your glass of ice. We're gonna pour that over the ice. Perfect. My lime is coming out. Got a lime wheel on the glass. If you want to, you could also just squeeze that in there if you want. Then we need a garnish. Celery is the go-to for Bloody Marys. And so I was being lazy and rushing home, and I didn't want to cut up celery and wash it and stuff. So I got some of these pre-made snacks and in this child-proof package. So we're just gonna. So here's our celery. We're gonna get this stalk out eventually. This is a rotten shame. There we go. All right. Obviously, if you cut your own celery and everything, wash it, it'll be in a tall enough piece for it to go in the glass, but that's all I need right there. And then, because we're fancy, I'm putting a little sprig of rosemary in to make it pretty. Just pull off some of the ends on the bottom. I already washed it, so don't worry about that. And that smells amazing. Oh, the smoke and the rosemary smell so good, y'all. And here is your Bloody Mary. So we're gonna take a sip of that. That's so good. Okay, guys, so here's an edit. I was wondering while I was drinking my cocktail why I didn't taste the booze in it, and just realized I forgot to put it in there. Stupid me. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that. And I got enough room for all of this right here. So now it's a Bloody Marian. Although, if you got folks in your family that don't drink alcohol or whatever, that tasted pretty good by itself. But me, I like the booze. Me likes the booze, so here we go. A little stir, stir, stir. Fix that up. Now it's a Bloody Marian. Oh, and my lime doesn't want to cooperate. We're just going to dunk that in there. There we go. There we go. All right. Now I'm not crazy. So, yes, this is the Bloody Marian, complete with Uncle Nearest. And the first drink was the Juneteenth. Shout out to Mix Masters for that recipe. And this is something great to drink again for Juneteenth or gift to somebody as Father's Day present. You're looking for something for Father's Day. Here you go. That's your bourbon drinker's dream for this weekend as a gift. So, once again, thanks. Follow me, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all next week with probably a wine. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. But if you have any suggestions of something you want me to review, leave that in the comments too. Other than that, y'all have a great weekend. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.